Hi guys, it's your friendly neighborhood content creator, and I'm back with another video. We had a last video. In the last video I covered my favorite Nollywood Yoruba movies I've been watching in the past weeks till date, some old ones, old faves, classics, new upcoming viral ones, theatrical releases. I covered a few of my faves. I just gave that as a tester, just to come into, coming to the conversation with things that I've been doing, updates of things I've been watching, my passions, things that I've been getting into over the time period, watching online, getting to information, entertainment, things I've been using to while away time, to comfort myself. And obviously watching movies is a favorite, it's a pastime, so I watched a lot of good ones. I love Nollywood. We've had a lot of creative releases from Nollywood, have a lot of new information, new entertainers, everything is out, society is out, showbiz is alive, having a lot of show business, a lot of things that we'll be watching. So obviously it has been really cool to watch all these things, to relate to them, watch them on the platforms, visualize, give a review and everything. So that's what I've been doing. It's been going really well. I've been enjoying watching these things. I love Nollywood. I'm a Yoruba person. I enjoy Yoruba movies. Anytime there's a Yoruba movie, I'm out. Every time I'm always watching, and so these are very huge cinematic releases I've been watching. So it's been nice to nurture that interest, get more inspired by things that I'm enjoying from Nollywood, from these entertainers, and their crafts and everything, because we're all actors and actresses in this world, aren't we? We're all acting at some point, and we all believe to be actors and actresses. So it's just part of entertaining and just reliving and just reviving yourself and feeling good. So I've been watching a few movies. I said that in my last video. My favorite Yoruba movies that I like enjoying, that I've been watching growing up, and also new ones. I gave a few. I didn't really talk about all, but I gave quite a good list. I told you where you can go and watch them. I told you how you can review them, how you can view them for yourself and everything. So yeah, I've just been all over the place. Obviously I'm busy, but in your free time it's good to make spare time to give yourself time to chill, make time for yourself, and just do what you love yourself, enjoy what you do, and just get into what you like. So yeah, I told you I've been doing videos, not really consistently, but I'm new to long videos now, so I'm going to be doing longer videos. I'm picking up interest in making more videos, so this will be coming along, growing gradually as I find more, favorable things that I like to do, what I like to, I'll see something that I like to, select, and then I would find something that I can, comfortably keep talking and going on and on about, because obviously when you find something that you want to keep going and just go along with it for a while. So I'm into the movie thing now. I'm talking about it. It's actually creatively, it's creatively nurturing. It's creatively, it's creatively enjoyable. It's creatively encouraging. So I'm just doing that. Watching movies gives me inspiration to get up, do what I want to do, and all that function. So that's good. So anyway, there were a lot of really huge movies that came out in the past year or two. If you're going to cinema, if you're watching at home, pirated, getting it online, going to your favorite site and watching, you see a lot of new movies, enjoyable movies coming out, in locally and abroad. A lot of good entertainment coming out. So there were a lot of big movies, buzzwords coming out, Idon, Ijakumo, a lot of big ones, Sole, just a lot of big things, a lot of big themes, a lot of big shows, a lot of big, stickers, a lot of big hashtags, everything just all over socials. We just hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag kidney, hashtag everything. So a lot of movies, you're just watching, you don't even know how you're going to continue to watch, it's just like, am I going to spend another money going to buy it? But yeah, a lot of movies are coming out. So yeah, if you were updated, with your socials, relevant, on your platforms, on your socials, you see a lot of movies, just a lot of new features, a lot of our latest releases, coming out and giving, people joy and everything. So a lot of good movies came out in the past year or two. A lot of good movies came out on different platforms. We saw a lot of them. I was privileged to go in my spare time to watch one of the big ones that came out theatrically last year in Lagos was King of Thieves. It's a new Yoruba Nollywood feature that came out theatrically, had a premiere and everything. It's a very good movie. It's a dark themed, it is indigenous, it's very unique. I really enjoyed it. King of Thieves, aka Agesinkole, natively. It's a very interesting movie. It came out in the past year. It stars Femi Adebayo, who is the thief, the main thief, Agesinkole. It stars Odunlade Adekola as King Jeremy of the village, Agesinkole. It stars Tonya Abraham as Queen Jeremy of the village that was featured in the movie. I'll get the name of the village in a bit. It stars a lot of big stars: Ibrahim Chata, Latif Ibrahim, Latif Adejimeji, Ibrahim Chata, Brother Shaggy, Dele Odule, Adebayo Salami himself. A lot of really huge names. Shekan Rinzo is the narrator who narrated perfectly, made it so scary. I was crying in the cinema. I could not even fidget. I was stiff like this watching it. It's set in the village. It transcends times, a few decades. If you go back in historically, culturally, in Yoruba fiction, you see a lot of things that we've nurtured, things like Irisha, village, witches and wizards, Shango, deity worship, those things are incorporated in the movie. So it's a very, very good movie. It had a very good positive review. Everyone in the cinema was clapping. It was very interesting. It's Yoruba language, translated in English, subtitled. Very, very interesting, very impactful creatively. Yeah, it was released in various studios, various cinemas. IMAX was a big one, Showmax, also Silverbird cinemas in Lekki as well. Yeah, it was released theatrically, made a lot of numbers. We like numbers, so it was a very good movie and it had a lot of buzz. So yeah, those are the cast. It stars a lot of huge actors and actresses. You saw how they all were able to make the impact of the movie. Actually, the narration of the movie is more in line with a folklore. So it's based on a folklore that is culturally Yoruba, and it was scripted to imbibe that folklore to what they call it, to transcend it into retell it modern in a modern way to today's viewer, but it's an old folklore that was retold. So that's basically the storyline, the plot. I'll just get into the details of the film, why it was good and the impact it had in a bit. Okay, I'm back now, guys. So we discussed the theme of the movie, King of Thieves, Agesinkole, which came out last year. We discussed the theme, we discussed the general concept of the film, who was in it and all that. So it was a big movie. Now just gonna get into the plot. If I remember correctly, the plot is set in a prosperous kingdom of Ajeremi, which is a village. It had a lot of props. It had a lot of like cinematic elements. It had horsemen riders. It had headless beheading, men in what do you call that? Special effects, headless men, beheading, showing headless, burying alive, witch spell casting, natural elements, a lot of things that were going on in the movie. It was very, very interesting. It was a thriller. Basically it's set in the kingdom of Ajeremi, which is reigning prosperously under the reign of Femi Adebayo with his wife Toyin Abraham, who are the king and queen of Ajeremi. It's just your day-to-day Yoruba kingdom. If you watch village Yoruba movies, you see how the town is abrupt with suspense, abrupt with hustle, it's abrupt with expectation, you could be rumors, there could be abrupt with competition, so that kind of thing. So it's that kind of genuine, just generic Yoruba village setting in the southwest. So it's abrupt with those type of things. So the kingdom is prosperous and everything is going on. There's talk of a thief, of a spiritual thief who comes through on a headless on a raid of killing and thieving, who is the Agesinkole, who is the notorious thief bandit in the area. He makes raids. He's known for tirades, killing, running corruption, crimes, just notoriously capturing, kidnapping, and all sorts of notorious crimes and actions and everything. So the victim, the killer who is known in the village, who is making those crimes and committing those actions, he is known is making raids on the neighboring towns, which causes a lot of tremor, which causes a lot of trembling, which causes a lot of crisis among the villagers, a lot of crying, a lot of shock. So he starts to descend his anger upon the people of Jeremy and unleash terror on the people. This is due to a cause that was laid prior to the coronation of the king. There was some jealousy between the rival kingdoms. So it was from a cause that he rose back and he decided to unleash his terror on the descendants of the curse makers. So he's now raining his anger, unleashing his crimes, unleashing his activities on the numerous people in the village and everything, and releasing, committing crimes and doing his actions and his his um um uh, his um his um uh um his uh vision, his viciousness, and his lashings out and his terrorist acts. So it's depicted that the people are peaceful. They have their resources. They want to rally against, to lash back at Agesinkole, at the king of thieves who is doing these crimes. Then it's known that they begin to rally themselves. The king and queen have to take leave. There's a group of witches, a group of witches and wizards, who are notorious deities in the village. They now start to unleash spells. They start to gang up using supernatural means to unleash terror, to unleash spells, to unleash conjure spirit magic and all these type of things to unleash upon the people. The king of thieves himself has not been caught, but he has been made to be a wanted felon, a wanted criminal in the village. So they bring up some young men who act as warriors. One of the warriors is Latif Adidimeji, who is trying to rally his strength to incite pain, to capture the perpetrator and bring him to justice. They have a lot of young men who are doing these things, who are trying to victimize, capture, bring him to justice and wage war and do that. So they're trying to get into war. Meanwhile, there's a secret, which is that the queen, Queen Ajeromi, who is the queen of the kingdom, she's secretly a witch who is now hiding, is now ready to portray her power as a power move to engage in struggle against the king and win the passion of the people. So she goes under a lot of changes. She takes a lot of incantations upon herself. She does a lot of magic. Sometimes she injures herself. She does a lot of devious things in trying to convince the king that she is the strongest member of the warrior sect, that she is the reigning queen. As the village is obviously under attack, there's a lot of supremacy going on, who assume power and all these things. So she wants to assume the power, so she's trying to do a lot of devious things as a witch in disguise, trying to undertake attack of the kingdom, trying to command, with her own methods of witchcraft, trying to enslave, the king's mind, go also rally the women to take and capture the vindicator, who is King Ajeromi, who is trying to take attack of the kingdom and the neighboring areas, the compass of the kingdom and the neighboring areas of the general environment that is going under siege. So in that struggle, we see a lot of heartbreak, we see a lot of killings, of ruthlessness. There's sacrifice, there's beheading. We see a lot of vengeance, a lot of even lawful, capturing examples of, such as when the young men were unable to make a killing, they have an interaction with the king of thieves. They engage him in battle. They try to capture him. They have an engagement or a squabble with him. He's obviously unable to be captured. He devises methods to escape capture from them, and they were unable to capture him. Some of them have lost their life in the process of the battle. Meanwhile, he has overtaken the social, emotional, and the morale of the strong men who are trying to do battle, who are trying to win this war. So in doing that, some of them have to face consequences for not being brave enough, such as, you know, not coming to their to the defense of the kingdom in time, using their power to do things. And in doing that, he begins to obviously some of them have taken they have to be given to, you know, punishment, given to lawful punishment, given to criminal punishment, given to ritual punishment, given to you know, even yeah. So obviously some of them are being they're being even given to, you know, like punishment. They're given to persecution, you know, different things. You know how Yoruba, you know, how ethnic ritual, or even rites of passage, you know, some people are stoned, some people are killed, some people are, you know, is treason and all these things. So they're given to all these things. They're using spiritual means to gain the captive, the capture of the king of thieves. They're trying to gain the you know, gain the peace and the supremacy of the village. So a lot of chaos, a lot of things are happening. But you know, we see a lot of good acting, we see a lot of plot twists, we see a lot of suspenseful things. Also, one of the things that was used is the also the sacrifice of you know, one of the men who was killed. After there was a scene where the king of thieves, he went about and he started using, you know, snakes. He used, you know, cutting of heads. The bravest of the men, the leader of the kingdom, Femi Adebayo, who's the king, he was ended up in a battle. One of the brave men, whose mother, you know, is close to the queen, and by default was sent as the bravest of the men to go and capture the king. He ended up being, you know, in an altercation with the king of thieves. His head was cut off, beheaded, snakes and everything. Meanwhile, there was a lot of, you know, of mayhem, a lot of killing, a lot of battle and everything. His head was he was beheaded, and it was like he was had to lay to breathe, you know. It was as if he was on his deathbed, due to the intervention of some of the mothers who have, you know, charms and spells. He was brought back to life. He was laid to rest. He ended up losing his life in the battle, you know, with the King of Thieves, who is notorious. He has black magic, he has dark methods, he has witchcraft, he has all sorts of things. He was laid to rest, and in doing that, there were people who were brought in to intervene, to bring incantations to him. He ended up having incantations. He was now brought back to life miraculously, with the intervention of the king and of the queen and her troop of witches and you know, soothsayers. He was now revived, luckily, to continue to wage war and to continue to win the capture of the king of thieves, who was out wreaking havoc. So in that doing, it shows that, you know, there's a community in that. They were able to, you know, the guy was sick, he was going dying, you know, on his deathbed. He was not able to you know, breathe life again after just, you know, was given to some spiritual incantations, and his spirit was revived. You know, a lot of supernatural. This is a Yoruba movie. There is juju, there is witchcraft, there is babalawo, there's everything. So everything is like that. It was revived, brought back to life. Then, you know, there was a big battle scene whereby the two rival kings, that is the king of thieves and the king of Ajeremi, which is Adebayo, Femi Adebayo, they had a clash, they had a battle. You know, there was a whole lot of, you know, of travel, a whole lot of clashing, a lot of convict what's it called, contentious scenes and all that, but they were able to subdue him. The strongest of the warriors, who has now come back to life, has seen, you know, the vision of the deities of the forefathers about the kingdom. He has the new revived strength, new energy. He now goes about, he now also engages in the capture, and they supersede and finally behead the King of Thieves and win the war of Jeremy and bring the kingdom to submission. So the man was captured finally at the end of the battle. He was engaged in, you know, warfare. He was his head was beheaded. He was sent, you know, he was what they call it. It was captured. It was he was arraigned, you know, then they beheaded him. He ended up dying in battle. They were able to arraign him, and that was the victory of the kingdom. Meanwhile, the wife of the king, you know, Tonya Abraham, plays the Queen Jeremy. She was, you know, nurturing her health after making a lot of spiritual and supernatural sacrifices and supernatural means to, you know, win the war. She is ended up knowing that, you know, her health is favorable. You know, there was even a situation whereby, you know, she was expecting the life of a child. You know, a lot of loss was there, but she was able to find a new hope, a new passion, you know, a new energy, a new revival from, you know, the victory of the kingdom, and getting, you know, her spiritual health back and her healing back, you know, as the queen of, you know, the sorcerers and the witches. So it was very interesting. If you watch it at night, I hope you can sleep. It's a very scary movie, but it's also very, you know, it's very inspiring. It's very eye-opening, you know, it's very thrilling, it's very eye-catching, you know, it's suspenseful, it's very entertaining, and it's a very good movie. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was very interesting. It had a very big premiere. There were a lot of celebrities. Also, another thing with the movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is featuring some singers, or you know, ethnic or Orisha singers who sing, you know, singing some Yoruba ethnic singers, you know, some native Yoruba songs. They have a choir, you know, singing the songs, chanting, incantations were in the soundtrack, and a lot of things were in the score. So it has a very good score. If you can listen to Yoruba music, you would really like it. It's very tribal, interesting. Yeah, that was the movie, and the plot concluded that, you know, there was a capture. He was killed. Obviously, he's a sorcerer, so his lifeline is dating hundreds of years for them to subdue him, and they finally found the method of beheading him, which ended up, you know, taking away his means of life. And he was you know, subjected, you know, was damned, you know, condemned finally after years of trouble with the kingdom. The thing is that there was a message of hope. You know, the villagers found peace. There was no more bloodshed, no more warfare, which is, you know, good. You know, they are able to, you know, have their way of life back, you know, after centuries of trouble, of turmoil in the village. The ending was concluded, you know, with the subdued, you know, the subjective, you know, the subduing of the perpetrator, who is now the enemy of the kingdom, now brought back to life, as you know, beheaded and captured. Is now there's now, you know, new energy, a new hope in the kingdom. There's a vigor of sobriety, of somberness in the kingdom. So people feel, you know, peace, and health is restored, which is the most important thing. The health of the kingdom, the health of the wife, the health of the gods and goddesses, the health of the deities, the health of the soldiers, the health of the witches, and, you know, the sorcerers, and everything is brought back to life. So that's what's most important. The health of the young men and the strong men are kept, they're preserved. So it's a very interesting movie. Had a lot of good reviews. Naturally I was inclined to, the juju, the suspense, but there are other movies that are not so brazen about, historical elements. They can bring contemporary elements of witchcraft, of natural Yoruba history, of natural Yoruba of Yoruba storytelling, which is including in a contemporary way. We see that with not lots of modern movies, which also consult back to ancient storylines, ancient messages, and all that. But this is a totally broadcast theatrical ethnic movie set in an ethnic environment, and it's a very thrilling movie, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of, even the costume, the makeup, hair and the makeup, the costume was excellent, totally related to, totally on point, totally visually in capturing, traditional Yoruba visuals, traditional Yoruba arts and crafts. It was very good. The storytelling was positive, and it had a good message. I really enjoyed King of Thieves. It had a good general global. I think it's globally going to be received as a very good movie, as of its genre, which is action. A very excellent movie, and it was a good watch. I had fun watching it. Be watching in groups, don't watch on your own. It could cause shakes, it could cause terror, it could cause scare, it could cause maybe panic, so just to calm yourself before you watch it. It's a very interesting, and it had a very like a breath of fresh air, from watching normal storytelling, watching normal materialistic movies we always watch. This is actually a cultural movie that can be enjoyed by families. So I really rate it highly, and it was very cheap to watch. I think it's still online, you can watch it now. It came out last year. It was very interesting, and it was a very good movie. I rated it highly, and I was very impressed with the cinematic elements and the theme and all that. So I'm good on movies. I've been watching them. Normally I don't watch the ones that are too native. Sometimes I find them a bit too or what's it called, a bit too ethnic, a bit too historical. Something is too historical, like reading the Bible. It's a bit too historical, so I don't like to watch too many native things, but it's actually really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I related to the story. I like the power of the women, especially the women kingdom. The women in the movie were very, very powerful, and it was very culturally authentic. I think it was good. As for generally I'm enjoying Nollywood cinema. I'm enjoying Yoruba Nollywood. I'm enjoying watching them. I'm enjoying creators coming together, actors and actresses. I'm enjoying a lot of culture being shown, my own culture being shown, my heritage being shown, and it's actually really interesting. There are lots of things that somebody may watch. They may want to wonder how you can go to these places. These places are still historical sites, as the narrator Segun Rizzi kept it very aware, that there are still historical sites. They're all places in southwest Yoruba land in Nigeria that are available to go and visit. These are all real, verifiable villages and towns, historical sites that are available for visit and all that. So it's a culturally, it's a culturally it's a culturally it's a culturally scenic and attractive place you can go and visit by yourself. I think it's a really good movie. That's what I watched. It was interesting. I'm doing Nollywood reviews. anything that brings anybody happiness, I think you should watch it. You should go for it. You should tell your story at all times. If you don't even like this story, go and tell your own King of Thieves, your own Agesinkole story, tell it yourself. If you don't like it, make your own story, tell your own story, bring your story to the table, create your own storyline. Others will enjoy it, others will tell it with you. Always tell your own story. At the end of the day, if you don't like a story, make up your own story and let others be aware of your story. That's what I got from that, and watching movies is letting me know about my story. It's bringing my story to the forefront, and it's giving me enjoyment in telling stories and bringing out my story and knowing sharing stories in general with others. So yeah, I've given it a good review. More to come. I enjoy watching it. We're having more rest time, things are coming out, so it's likely to it's a good time to feel to engage with your family, to come to commune with your family, to feel good, sit with your family, break bread with your family, and just facilitate with others and watch, come together and enjoy these things, group watching and all that. Since it's available now, it's a good time to include others, to arrange, to participate, to commune with others, to comrade with others, to group up, to mobilize, to familiarize with others and come together and enjoy the movie and watch the communicate, contribute your own info, your own idea into it, to also contribute about yourself into that as well. So it's interesting to watch these things. I'm enjoying, this is my niche, this is my my own hobby. So any other hobbies you can also include, and it's good storytelling and I enjoy it. Yeah, this is another in the series of Nollywood reviews. Hopefully this brought a lot of joy, this brought a lot of relevance, this brought a lot of ideas, this brought a lot of reward, this brought a lot of of relevance to someone. Hopefully you can also watch the movie in your spare time. Yeah, I'm going to be giving more content, giving more creative aspects of my life as I go forward with my YouTube, giving more creative elements, getting more in depth in creativity. This is also going forward to give more of a broad topic theme about a theme of things, directed from interest to include other interests and just get into other aspects of everyday life. Yeah, so hopefully this video touched you. Hopefully you liked it. If you do like it, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Bringing more videos, bringing more content, bringing more contributions, and hopefully you can find something here that you relate to and more relatable, to hopefully this will be more relatable. I'll be making more relatable content, and hopefully you can find something here that makes me more relatable to you. You need to obviously be more relatable to someone. So hopefully this is relatable to you. You can like, share and subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.